Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day so far. So I'm very excited about this video here because what I'm going to be showing you is like a step-by-step guide for how you're going to begin making money online. Now, I know that's kind of a broad topic because there are literally thousands of different ways you can make money online. But specifically what we're going to talk about in this video is how I'm making money online, which is what you're watching right now, by creating YouTube videos. Now, it doesn't have to be specific to YouTube, but the basis of the method that I make money online is around building a following around something that you enjoy and are passionate about, and then making money with that following. So if that doesn't interest you at all, this is not the video for you. But if you're even remotely interested in building a following, helping others looking for knowledge and information they've been searching for, and making money in the process, that's exactly what I'm going to outline here in this video. Now, the first point I want to make is one of the biggest issues that I see with people today, and that comes down to when they're looking to make money online, and that is the fact that people are way too focused on what people like me are doing. And I know this because when I post videos like $10,000 a month of passive income or $20,000 a month, or recently I had a month in January here where I did almost $30,000 in passive income, I know those videos are going to get a lot of views because it's a really exceptional amount of money. But the thing is, I've been doing this for 2.5 years. Now, is that a crazy long amount of time? I don't think so, but it is, a good amount of time here that I've spent building this channel. I've made over 500 videos. A lot of them were crappier videos that I've taken down since then. But I have dedicated, a reasonable amount of time to this YouTube channel, and that is why I am making the money that I am. But if you're just getting started, whether it's a YouTube channel or a blog or whatever it is you're doing, you don't want to be comparing yourself to people that have been doing it for 2 or 3 years. Maybe you're going to look at that and say, okay, I would love to be in that situation 2 or 3 years from now, but you shouldn't go into it expecting that you're going to have those results from day one. One of my friends explained it very well to me. He said, don't be comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 25. And that is the biggest thing I want to stress here in this video, is even though you've seen people making 5, 6, 7 figures online, it's probably not going to happen for you for a little while. But if you put in the same amount of effort as them, and you mirror the strategies they've followed, that is going to be your best chance for achieving those results. So what I want you guys to focus on instead is the $100, $100 bill. What can you do to start making $100 online? And I'm not talking about $100 a day. I'm talking about just $100. How can you make $100 online? What is it that you can do to begin making money? Because if I looked at my YouTube channel, but when I started it and I had this goal of making $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 a month, I would have said, I have no idea how to do that. That's impossible, and I never would have started. But instead, looking for ways to just simply make $100, I said, I can probably do that with a YouTube channel. So I want that to be your goal to get started, at least, is how you're going to make $100 online. Because if you haven't made $1 online, if you haven't even made your first any amount of money online, why are you trying to make $1,000 or $10,000? That's like trying to run a marathon when you haven't even run a mile. You need to run that mile first and earn that first $1, and then that first $10, and then that first $100 online to get that momentum going and begin understanding how all of this works. But that being said, we're going to cover quite a bit in this video, going over the strategies and really the process to follow here of building an online following. But I did want to mention, if you're interested in going a little bit deeper here, I've been working on an entire course for the last couple of months on my strategies here with my YouTube channel, my blog, and my Instagram account, Investing Simple, how I'm able to intertwine all of these things and earn passive income. And as I said, last month it was close to $30,000 in passive income, not counting any ad revenue from YouTube videos that I earned from these different sources. So what I'm looking for currently is a test group of 10 to 15 people who would want to go through that course and share their feedback with me and help me make sure it's the best course possible before I launch it. So if you're interested in signing up for that test group, that's going to be the top link in the description below. And even if you guys are not accepted in that group of 10 to 15 people, you are going to be getting a massive discount when that course launches, and you're going to be among the very first people that actually find out about it and be the first group going through it. Anyways, that being said, let's get into it and talk about what are the steps involved with making money online. Number one, the very first thing you have to do is decide on your niche. What is your niche going to be? And I want to stress this as well here. You don't necessarily have to know exactly what you're going to be doing when you start your YouTube channel, and you can kind of test out different ideas. If you're one of my earliest subscribers, you may remember when I used to talk about nutrition, and I would also talk about personal development, because when I started this YouTube channel back in 2016, I focused on 3 core areas. Number 1, investing. Number 2, self-development, and number 3, nutrition and fitness, because those were the 3 core areas I was focusing on in my own life. Now, after I did that for about a month or 2, I found that I was trying to talk about way too much stuff, and the investing and stock market related content was the only content that was getting views, and so I decided to cut out those other pieces and only focus on the investing side of things, which has obviously been quite successful for me. But when you're starting out, you don't necessarily have to pigeonhole yourself and say, I'm going to talk about exactly this, because you can kind of flex and grow and kind of figure out what is it that you're going to talk about, and you can test different ideas and see if there's any interest in that content. But you do want to have a general idea of what the niche is that you want to focus on by the time you get to around 1,000 subscribers. At that point, people should have an idea of what content you're going to be creating and what to expect from you. So maybe, for example, your niche is going to be buying and selling stuff on Craigslist. Maybe you're going to do those ASMR videos if that's what interests you. Or maybe you're going to do something totally different, like how to make vegan meals from home without breaking the bank. Whatever it is, figure out a general idea of the niche you're going to be involved with, and then you can begin to simmer that idea down as you start making content for that niche. And the number 1 piece of advice I've ever been given is that the riches are in the niches. I can't remember exactly where I heard that before, but it is so true. You want to establish expertise within a certain niche. You don't want to try to be this jack of all trades covering all these different things at once. You can start broad, but I want to encourage you to narrow down as you begin to see where you want to go with this and what specific niche you want to get into. So once you've figured out what niche that you want to go after, or a general idea of what you want to create content about, the second step is to decide on a platform. Where are you going to host your content? And you might be saying to me right now, well, wait a second, why don't I just do everything? Why don't I do YouTube, and I'll also do, Instagram, and I'll do Pinterest, and I'll do Twitter, and I'll also do Snapchat and a Facebook page and all this other stuff? Well, the problem again is you're trying to be a jack of all trades, and you're going to become a master of none. And the number 1 piece of advice I can give you is master one platform first. Pick one platform and go all in on that platform. For me, this was YouTube early on. I pretty much solely did my YouTube channel. I may have dabbled a little bit with Twitter and a Facebook page, but I was putting 99% of my effort into this YouTube channel, not so much these other social media platforms. And I suggest that you do the same thing. Otherwise, you're going to be spreading yourself way too thin, and you're not going to be gaining traction on any of these platforms. Now, after a while, once you've built a following on one platform, you can begin to build a following on a different platform. Myself personally, I started investing a lot of my time and energy into my personal Instagram at the beginning of 2018, and I've built up a modest following there in the process. And then also spinning off and having my blog, the Investing Simple blog, and the Investing Simple Instagram. Those are just different platforms that I'm building followings on, but it's because I've been dedicated to YouTube for 2.5 years now, and I have enough momentum built up I can begin focusing on different areas. But if you try to do everything at once, it's just not going to work out for you unless you have a massive team of people behind you, or you just don't plan on sleeping. And if you do that, then you're probably going to burn yourself out. So focus on one core platform to go all in on, and I'm going to help you guys decide what might be the best platform for you now. So first of all, if you are interested in Instagram, what you have to understand that, in my opinion, it is the fastest platform for growth because there's not as much attention in that space. And if you follow some basic Instagram growth strategies, it's really not that hard to grow an Instagram page. The only issue with that is I found the traffic from Instagram to be very low converting. People are on their phones, they're looking to kill time, and you're not gonna get somebody to click over onto a sales page and watch a 15-minute sales video or a webinar from Instagram. I have yet to convert a single person through a webinar from my Instagram page, Investing Simple, or my personal page. So if you're looking to do any kind of internet marketing like that where there's gonna be a webinar involved, you're not gonna have people's attention or patience on Instagram. And the other issue with Instagram is there's no direct monetization on the platform. There's no way that Instagram can send you a check for creating your posts. You're gonna have to figure out how to make money on the back end through merchandise or Patreon or affiliate marketing, some other method. It's totally doable, and we go through a number of different methods of doing this in my course that I'm coming out with soon. But even just doing a little bit of research online, you can figure out a couple of different ways to make money with an Instagram following, even just doing paid shout outs. Certainly not the best way to make money, but it can definitely get the ball rolling for you. Number two, let's talk about a podcast. The thing with a podcast is, again, there's going to be less competition than YouTube because not as many people think, oh, I'm going to go start a podcast, as they do, okay, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. For some reason, it's just more popular for people to want to go out and start a YouTube channel. But the thing you're going to find with podcasting is that there's, again, no direct monetization. There's no pre-roll ads that happen before podcasts. You have to go out there and get your own sponsors or figure out your own affiliate deals. But the one thing unique to podcasting is that you're building a massive amount of trust with people because they're spending, in some cases, 45 minutes to an hour, listening to you, and you're building a lot of trust with them. And you're also finding that podcasting is multitask friendly, so people can listen to it while they're at the gym or they're in their car, which just makes it a really easy content to consume instead of video where you have to sit down and watch it on your phone or on your laptop unless you have YouTube Red and you can run it in the background, which is not the majority of people. Third of all, let's talk about a blog. A blog is by far the slowest growth out there. I've been working my butt off with my blog for the last 8 months, and we're right around 100 hits a day from search, which is a very small amount of traffic, but that's just what it's like with blogging. It takes a massive amount of effort on the front end, but that's where the most potential money is to be made with affiliate marketing, which is the core of my business. The other thing about blogging, it's not personal unless you make it personal. The Investing Simple blog that's the brand, Investing Simple. It's not a personal brand, it's a standalone brand. But if you wanted to, you could make your blog more personal and maybe document your daily life. But if you're going to do that, I would just say do a YouTube channel instead. It's going to be so much better for that personal relationship. And then fourth and finally, we have the YouTube channel. A little bit faster than a blog, not nearly as fast as Instagram in terms of growth. A lot of effort is required on the front end. You can be very personal with people, and the main perk here is that there is a direct native platform for making money, which is running ads before your videos. It's pretty much universally accepted now that people are going to see ads before the videos. Nobody really complains about them, and it's going to be money in your pocket once you qualify for YouTube monetization. Now, I am going to correct myself there quick. You can run ads on a blog, but they're only going to be display ads. And what you're going to find is the ad rates typically for these display ads are nowhere near the ad rates for these video ads, and your ad revenue for the same amount of traffic will likely be higher on a YouTube channel than it would be for a blog. So let's talk about your personality type now, okay? And no, this is not some kind of weird date question, but it's really important to understand what is your personality type and what are you going to be comfortable with. If you are very introverted and you're nervous about putting yourself out there and you don't want to be on camera, then you can start an Instagram page or a blog and establish a brand around what you're doing. Nobody has to know that you're running it, and you can just be the one behind the scenes creating the content and hopefully eventually collecting the money. Investing Simple is a perfect example of this. That's the Instagram page that I own and the blog that I've created, and there's very little mention of my identity on that blog just because I like to keep these things separate, other than maybe the About section on the blog. And so if you are not interested in putting yourself out there, you don't want to record yourself on camera or on a microphone, blogging or Instagram is probably the best fit for you. If you are extroverted, if you love talking to people, if you want to be an influencer, whatever the hell that is, then YouTube is a great platform for you because you can literally just turn on the camera and start recording videos. But again, you have to have that certain personality type and be familiar or I guess more or less comfortable with going on camera and putting yourself out there. And maybe you're somewhere in the middle, you get a little bit camera shy, but you have a great voice and you're able to be clear and talk through things. Maybe a podcast would fall somewhere in the middle, but the point I'm getting after here is that there is something for everybody. Even if you're trying to make the excuse of, oh, I'm afraid of my own voice, or my voice is annoying, or I think I'm ugly, it's like, great, go start a blog. Go start an Instagram page, a personal brand. Even if you want to make YouTube videos, you don't even have to be using your own content if you don't want to. You can make compilation videos, you can do all kinds of different things. You can't let your excuses get in the way of starting something this year. Okay, now the third step you're going to want to follow after you have decided on your niche or you have a general idea of what you want to produce content around, and you've also decided on a platform, now it's time to do market research. Yes, this is the most important part of this process because you don't want to just go in there and blindly be guessing about what kind of content you want to be producing. You want to actually do market research and prove that there is demand for this content before you waste your time and energy producing it. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to jump into my computer and I want to show you guys how to conduct a little bit of market research on both YouTube and Instagram. So we're going to go ahead and start on YouTube. And let's say, for example, you want to make videos about credit score and building your credit score. So what you're going to want to do is take a look on YouTube and see what is the existing content out there and what content is really getting attention. So let's say, for example, you go here and you type in credit score just to see what kind of videos come up, and you're going to want to pay attention to maybe a couple of these different channels that are frequently posting videos. As you can see here, how to improve your credit score is a big video here that's got 106,000 views. That might be a video that you want to pay attention to. And you also want to be looking at the thumbnails people are using and what strategy seems to be working best for people. It seems like a lot of people are adding that credit score dial in their thumbnails, and that may be something you want to incorporate in your strategy as well. This right here, a Dave Ramsey video, appears to be a very popular one, how to improve your credit score without debt. So let's say, for example, somebody has a bad credit score and they want to improve it, but maybe they're afraid of credit cards because they're once bitten, twice shy. Credit cards got them in that situation. They don't want to go back to credit cards. So how can they improve their score without debt or credit cards? That right there is a video with almost 500,000 views. Credit scores fully explained. This isn't a crazy video, but you can tell this channel only has, 5,000 subscribers. So 3,300 views is actually a significant amount of views for this channel. So you get the idea of what I'm doing here. I'm just looking at what content is out there and seeing what's working well for other people. What thumbnails are most interesting to me? What titles are working well? What am I seeing as the common theme among these videos? And you're going to begin to replicate some of the same content that's working well for other people. You're not going to copy these videos directly, but you're going to pick and choose different elements from each one that you can begin to incorporate in your own videos. So now let's jump over to Instagram and talk about that and how you can look at what's working well for other influencers. So like I said, let's say we're looking to tap into the entrepreneurship on Instagram. That's going to be the niche you're going to go after. Well, one of the very first things you can do here is just search by the hashtag. Look up hashtag entrepreneur and see what posts are jumping out to you and who are the biggest influencers in this niche. Now, I chose this one specifically because I'm very knowledgeable of it, and I know of 3 pages that are relatively big in this space, and we're just going to take a look at their content and see what it is they're posting. So first of all, we have Clever Investor. This is a real estate investor. He has 1.2 million followers. And what we're looking at is what kind of content people are posting here. As we can see, a lot of the text with emoji, these short videos people are sharing, type yes if you agree. You're just looking over this content and seeing what is working, what's getting the most engagement. And one of the things I would recommend as well when analyzing an Instagram page is take a look at maybe 15 or 20 posts and determine the baseline number of how many likes each post is getting, and pay attention to the ones that are getting more likes than others. That is something that is called BPPs, best performing posts. That might be a little bit technical for this video, but that's what you're looking for, is content that is working for this page and things that you can replicate yourself. This looks to be a very simple video of just, Bugs Bunny counting money. These memes, again, it's like pictures that nobody really owns. I know Clever Investor put his watermark on there, but I'm pretty sure it probably didn't originate with him. But you're just looking for things like this, posts that have worked well for this page that might work well for you in addition. Moving on, let's look at Founder. This is an online brand and magazine for entrepreneurs. And you can see they do a lot of text posts here and a mixture of different things. Founder is very focused on the personal brand, and they want everything to be pretty consistent. So you don't really see them posting a lot of other people's content, but actually, oddly enough, for a while, they were posting a lot of Investing Simple content, which was awesome because I own that page, and every time they would post that, I would gain like 3,000 to 5,000 followers, so that was pretty awesome. But again, what you're seeing here is all these posts have a very similar look and feel. You can see what they're doing here, where they have a white post every other post. That way you get this interesting look here of the white on the outside, then on the inside. And they're pretty consistent with their branding and their colors, and obviously this has worked pretty well for them. Finally, we'll look at Millionaire Mentor. This is probably the biggest page in the entrepreneurship space on Instagram at 4.1 million followers. And this guy does post mostly his own content with his logo on there, but look at this stuff. I mean, this is not very difficult to produce something like this yourself. Looking up stock images of a man in a suit and saying, trust your journey, and slapping your logo on there. So this is by no means rocket science or any earth-shattering stuff going on here. It's basically a mix of finding content that's worked well for other people and doing reposts, and also just making your own content. But you don't have to go crazy with it. Something as simple as grabbing stock photos and adding a caption to it can result in, thousands of likes and a following that you can actually monetize. But that right there is a very basic explanation of what market research looks like. Obviously, there are methods to go a lot more in depth, but I want to give you guys just a general guideline of what you can follow here and what market research looks like. But again, it's very important to do research on the type of content that's out there, what's working well for other people and what might not be working, because you don't want to be wasting your time producing content that people just aren't interested in. That's the number one thing I want to stress. And the reason I'm stressing it so much is because I wasted a huge amount of time early on when I was making YouTube videos, just producing these videos without doing any market research, and a lot of them didn't get any views because there just was not a demand for that content. So prove there's demand before you produce that content. And then fourth and finally, the last step of this whole process is just to create valuable content. And creating valuable content, I can't really tell you guys how to do that. Look at what other people are doing and determine where the quality bar is in that niche. If you're looking to make entrepreneurship related videos and infographics, look at Millionaire Mentor, look at Clever Investor, look at Founder. That's the quality bar. If you can meet or exceed that quality bar, then you're in good shape. If you're below that quality bar, you probably don't want to get into that niche because you can't produce content that's going to be valuable enough to be shared and to differentiate yourself. And you're going to find that some niches are more competitive than others, and as such, that quality bar is going to be higher. So just be honest with yourself. If you can't meet that level of production or that level of quality, find a different niche where maybe it's less competitive and the quality bar is lower. Now, in terms of YouTube videos and blog articles, as far as my blog, what I can tell you is we're mostly focusing on 2,000 word articles or more. We are not writing any thin content. We're writing authoritative pieces of content that are going to be giving us value for long periods of time. And as far as YouTube goes, you want to become the authority on whatever your niche is, and that's going to be a different length for any video. Maybe you're doing a video talking about, how to do the dishes. That's not going to take you 30 minutes to do that video. But if you're doing a video on, how to begin investing in real estate, that could easily be a 30 or 45-minute video. So it's not about the length of the video, it's about the quality of the information and the thoroughness of what you're doing, and also just your delivery. Those are all the factors that tend to matter. Obviously, all of these things can be brought out into a much more complicated way. That's kind of what the course is going to be, is going into everything into more detail. But this is the basic umbrella, the 4-step process of making money online with an online following. These are the steps that you have to follow. And then the last thing I want to mention here is you need to have realistic expectations when you go into this. I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times over. If you've watched any Graham Stephan video on passive income or making money or YouTube, he always stresses this be patient, have realistic expectations, but it's so crucial. You know, you can't be out there comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 30, and if you're doing this, you're just going to get discouraged and you're going to say, oh, I can't do this, this is impossible. You need to stay motivated and figure out what's going to keep the gears turning for you to be able to, you know, go through something long enough to actually see it work. And the best comparison I have for this is you're basically planting a seed when you begin to build any following online. And it's going to take a while for that plant to emerge from the ground and for you to see any results. But most people are going to plant that seed and then they're going to water it for a couple days and they're going to go, you know what, this doesn't work. I'm not seeing any immediate results, and they're going to walk away. But those who continue to cultivate that and water that plant every single day, you're going to begin to see that plant grow. And the larger it grows, the faster it grows. That is exactly how online growth is. I have found that it has been exponential growth here on my YouTube channel, not necessarily, you know, linear growth. And when you begin to understand that, you'll be a lot more patient when it comes to whatever your side hustle is, or whatever you're starting on YouTube, or whatever platform you decide on, or any online business you get involved with. You should not be trying to make money on day one, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to people 2 or 3 years in the process. And your first goal, in my mind, should always be make your first $100 before you begin looking for a goal beyond that. And with that mindset, that should give you your best chance for success with making money online. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end. Like I said, if you want to get in that test group for the course, picture this video, but you know, a lot more lectures like this and going more into depth on all of these topics. That's what the course is going to be. If you want to apply to be a part of that test group, that is the top link in the description below. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.